to all Gunners fans around the world. Hi to all football enthusiasts all around the world. You are welcome to another edition of the Arsenal Alchemy. Today's post or edition is to acknowledge the fact that our season is truly well and done, at least in the English Premier League. We still have the Champions League, but I'm so not optimistic about that. After watching the draw between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest, it was still the same old style of play that we've played in the last 3 or 4 games, from the Newcastle game to the Leicester game to the West Ham game, then to this Nottingham Forest game. In those 4 games, we won only 1, and in those 4 games, we scored just 2 times. So the only positive from this game is that we did not go down to 10 men. We did not go down to 10 men, and of course we didn't lose the game. It's a very, very tough away game. Nottingham Forest, they're third on the table. They're about 6 points behind us. We're on 54 now. Nottingham Forest is on 48. So in that regard, if things were a bit different, this would have been a very good away point, to be honest. And the game itself was a bit better than the game against West Ham on Saturday. This was the boys were much, there was more urgency in this game. The midfield did pretty well. The defense, barring a few moments from Riccardo Calafiori, I think it was a very comfortable game in terms of defense. There were points when we thought Calafiori was going to get a second booking after picking up a yellow card in the second minute. Yes, in the second minute. And even apart from that, Hudson Odoi, he had Calafiori's number today. He kept running him down the flank. The same thing we saw Wan-Bissaka do over the weekend. The same thing repeated itself. You can tell that the game plan for Nottingham Forest was to exploit that right side fullback of ours, and see what they can get there, because it's obvious Calafiori is not the most pacey. He's not the most pacey of players, and ironically, he was the one that set up the best chance we had in this whole game. Sometime in the first half, I think in the 37th minute, he made a brilliant turn and beat his man in the box, and honestly, I don't know how he missed that. It was a very good strike, and it hit the post and came back, and the goalkeeper saved it. Apart from that chance, we didn't really create anything. We had a lot of corner kicks. We had a lot of corners, but they were actually well handled. Right now, the way to stop our corner kicks is to load the back post. The opposition players, they just load the back posts, and we keep about 4 or 5 players there. Most times our players don't even get to the ball. The opponents get to the ball. It's not helping that Nottingham Forest is a big side. It's a very big side, so that kind of explains why our our attack again in the fourth game running has been very impotent. You know, our attack was biteless. Our attack wasn't sharp. We were predictable. You know, of course, we have nobody to excuse me. We had nobody to take up the number 9 role, and of course, Mikel Merino started again with Mikel Arteta started again with Mikel Merino, and like I said, while he tried his best, he's not a natural 9, and he was still doing one of those same things that we don't like. He was coming back deep a lot. So sometimes when we intercept the ball, he is in no man's land. We have nobody except maybe Trossard. And Trossard has been in what I call a shocking form. You know, he's for a player that uses both legs, that is supposed to be very technically gifted, you know, for about 4, 5, 6 games, the guy has been nowhere to be found. Even the game we played Manchester City out of the pack, Trossard was poor in that game. He was perhaps our worst player on that day. Today again, he was just flattering to deceive. He wasn't tracking back. He wasn't, you know, at this point, you know, we have to play 2 left fullbacks in that left position. We'll probably start up Calafiori in front on the left and play Tini. Tini came in for Calafiori, and to me, Tini was the best player in the second half. I'm telling you. Apart from William Saliba and Gabriel Mihalis, Tini was such a fresh energy. He was like a new signing today. I gave him so much praise because he was really good. I felt so bad for him. You know, he probably should have started. If I was the manager in the next game, take out Mikel Merino and probably play Trossard in that middle, because, you know, Trossard is a more technical player than Mikel Merino, you know, and Mikel Merino actually today he offered nothing in that front position. I get it that he tracked back a lot to help, and of course the service was nowhere to be found. The service was nowhere to be found. So, you know, in a nutshell, that was the game. There was really, if you didn't miss this game as an Arsenal fan, if you didn't watch this game as an Arsenal fan, I want to tell you, you didn't miss anything. You know, the game was kind of drab, sideways passing, overworking the defense. They cross the balls. You don't see any Arsenal player contesting for balls. You know, I don't know. In fact, even if a striker was in this team at this moment, I don't think a striker would have done anything. As at when I started making this post, Liverpool were 1-0 up against Newcastle. Now, in that game, I watched part of it, and I was surprised and I was baffled at the way Newcastle was set up. Newcastle played without Isak. I heard he picked up a minor injury or something before the kickoff. They brought in Callum Wilson. In fact, the kind of chances Callum Wilson missed. Being appalled, if I say I was appalled, I will be joking. The kind of chances he was missing. He missed about 3 one-on-ones. Then the way Newcastle set up in this game, I question their ambition for top 4. I really question the ambition for top four because when you're playing Liverpool in Anfield, you're supposed to like at least play a low block. In the 10th minute or so, Soboslai scores. In fact, before that goal, there was a clear penalty call on Salah. Somehow the referee gave it the other way, said there was a push before that happened. The replay showed no push, so they were even lucky. So, but I was surprised at how open the game was. Liverpool didn't even have to switch to the second gear. It was more like a playing practice for them. It was like they didn't even step it up, especially when the goal came. They just soaked them up. Yes, Callum Wilson had those chances, and you wonder what's going on. Is there because the way they play Arsenal, the way these guys play Arsenal, they play Arsenal like there is no tomorrow. They play Arsenal like their lives depended on it. You see everybody fired up, adrenaline pumping, they're ready to die on the pitch. But when you see them play Liverpool, it's like, hey, we've considered that you're going to win today, so you might as well just win. So maybe it's the way we play. I really don't know. But today, the topic of this post is a guard of honor should be set up for Liverpool already. Because I don't see. And their next fixture of games, I think they're going to take short 3 points in those games. We are not even sure we can. We're struggling to score goals. We're struggling to score goals. So I really don't know. I'm resigned, and I feel the EPL winners have emerged, and what we can fight for is to come second this season, and that is all we can fight for. That is all we can fight for this season. I urge our supporters, I urge all the fans around the world to get behind the team. The damage is done. The damage looks irreparable at this point. I don't think, even if we win the remaining 10 or 11 games or so, I don't think we can catch this Liverpool side. And don't forget, we're still going to go to Anfield. No way we win that game. No way we win that game. With the kind of attack we have, the attack is a joke at the moment. The only thing saving us, the only thing keeping us in second place is our defense. Our defense, our holding midfielders, they are the ones keeping us in this EPL season, because I'm not going to say this EPL title, So I have resigned to the fact that we will just come top 4. It might be top 5 this season for the EPL teams, but we might just come top 5. See how far we can go in the Champions League. Hopefully they don't come with a low block. Excuse me. Hopefully they don't come with a low block like every other team has been doing this period. So that's my take. Like I said, set up a guard of honor for Liverpool FC. They are the overwhelming champions. They are the best team by miles in the EPL this season. They've lost only one game this season, and that game was a fluke. And that was I think that was the 7th game of the season, and they lost to Nottingham Forest. Look, give these guys their flowers. They're the best team. The way they set up, the new coach they have is a genius and a slot. I think the EPL is done and dusted this period. We can start up next season, overhaul the team, bring in fresh signings to the team next season, and we see how we go. And that will be all for now. If you like this post, please subscribe, like this video, view this video, and interact with us in the comment section. And for now, it's goodbye.